So today I'm going to be talking about red flags when hiring a nanny slash DM. So for those who don't know what a DM is short for domestic manager. Yes, so let me dive right in. So number one, they have inconsistencies in their stories. So you'll find that a nanny with a red flag is they have inconsistencies. Like maybe they say, I had this one nanny actually. One time she would tell me she has 3 kids, and then another time she told me she has 1 kid. So I was like, until you're just confused, you're like, okay, well, am I going crazy? Like, what did you say? I thought you said it. And it's clear, like, you can't just imagine something like that. So it was just weird. Then another time she called me. I'd already had her, so she used to call me sick a lot. So she was like, my stomach is aching. And, she's like faking, and she was like, where she was cut, like for the C-section, and her baby was 8 years. So I was like, does it take that long? Because I don't know about CS, I don't know much about it. So I was like, but I don't know. I just felt it was a lie because I don't know. Because for some reason she was always lying about something. Most of the time she always wanted to call it sick. So I didn't really believe her. And then I was like, no, 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 it's too much because she had already done that a lot. Like she would call it sick a lot. So when I don't know, for some reason she finally came. I think she felt guilty. So she just came and just had her come in, and then I was like, oh, are you feeling better now? Like, I didn't even expect it. And she's like, the monthly thing. So I'm like, really? So it changed from one thing to another. So that inconsistency is weird. Like a lot of things she would say that were weird. And, there was a lot of inconsistencies. Sometimes she'd tell me like she has a flu, then maybe it's something else. Like it was just weird, 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 weird. Yeah. Then number two, another red flag is they have no ID. So I've experienced such a thing like where a nanny, please don't come after me. So I didn't know. I was just given to her, and she didn't have an ID. She was like, "Oh, I'm waiting. I don't know," stuff like that. So when you hear stories to do with ID that are weird, just question that a lot because it's not good. Like it's not a good thing. It's a red flag because you don't even know why this person is hiding the ID. The people you just find them. Sorry, they're just like they don't want to show you the ID, or they don't want to take a picture of the IDs. I don't know, they're just weird about the IDs. But if it's someone genuine, I always feel like they're ready. Like even if you tell them, do you have the ID? Yeah, I have it. Like it's nothing, it's not a big deal. They're not hiding anything. At least it's a good sign, that person is not hiding anything. Because most of them, you don't know what they have done in their previous jobs. You don't know. Maybe they ran away, maybe they stole something. God forbid, you don't even know what happened before. And that's why they don't want to show you the ID. So you should be really careful when hiring someone without an ID. I think it's best to just avoid, if you can, just look for someone with an ID. Yeah. Then they don't keep their word most of the time. So this person who has a red flag, they don't keep their word. Like they tell you, like even the first day, they start from the what day one. Like if you see something from day one, it will only get worse. So the first day I had this one nanny, my first ever living nanny. She told me she'll arrive at about 10 a.m. in the morning. So I waited, 10 a.m. came and went. I waited, and then no communication. I always like someone who can be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm running late. At least communicate, tell me, because I'm human, I will understand. But no, she didn't communicate, she didn't tell me anything. So I just stayed until it got to, afternoon. I think she came at about 5, yeah, 5 or 4. And then she was like, nah, I had to wash my clothes. I had to wait for them to dry. And I'm like, and they're not even apologetic. So I really detest that. So from that time, she kept on doing so many things. Like, it's like they kind of test your boundaries and they know you'll be okay. So the next time she would maybe go for an off and then call in to tell me I'm not coming back until tomorrow. Imagine. So it was crazy. Or she's cooking and then she had about me. So she's cooking. She's like, okay, I'm in a hurry, like finish up for me. I have to go. I have to leave the thing. Imagine, like it was. I don't know how I accepted that because it was my first time having a living nanny, so I didn't know. Like I was so naive. I accepted it so much. So even you moms out there, don't accept like when you see someone disrespecting you, the word go, call them out or send them packing. Like it's not worth it. That person will continue to get worse by the day. Then the other red flag that I realized was they call in a sick a lot, as I've said before. Yeah, they call in sick a lot. So like this DM that I was telling you about, like she would call in sick a lot, especially on let's say Monday, maybe she's not feeling like coming. Clearly, she's not feeling like coming back because it's the weekend. So like, she's going to fake up. Oh my God, I'm not feeling well. Or she'll just text, Madam, I'm not coming tomorrow. I'll see you. And imagine like on Saturday, let's say. Imagine I'm not coming today. I'm having a cold. Imagine. So it would be like a lot. And you see, I understand like people get sick, but it can't be like every weekend you're getting sick, especially Saturday or especially Monday, so that you have a long weekend. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's a red flag. Then when you notice that your child cries a lot, especially when you're leaving them. So I had another one actually. I've had two experiences. One was last year. Mm, so this lady, so she would when I would leave, like it was just a head, like it was just giving me a headache every time I could like hear my baby cry, because even when I allowed down the stairs, I go far, like she would cry and scream her lungs out, like it was bad, like it was just ringing in my head, and I don't like when my baby cries. So it would go on like that, like it was so bad. I actually remember sometimes I wanted to shoot a video, but I felt weird because now she would scream and scream. It was just weird, like it's like she's never was comfortable around this lady, and so you never know. Maybe she was pinching her. Actually, the problem is kids can't talk. Babies can't talk, so she couldn't tell me like what was going on. So it was just a red flag. She ended up not being good. Yeah, and like it was just, yeah, that was one case. And the other case was recently, like maybe 2 months ago, I think. The lady, it was just day one, and my baby was just screaming. Like I just stepped out just to go and buy something. It was bad. Like the lady was calling me nonstop, incessantly. Like I could just hear the screams. Like she cried for like I think 1 hour until I came back. I had to rush back and just hold her. It was crazy. So that was a red flag, and I just had to let her go. Like it was her first day and her last day. So yeah, when your baby is not comfortable around this person, then that's a red flag. Then also the child looks unhappy or neglected. So sometimes even the child doesn't have to scream. You as a mom have to be your child's advocate. So you find maybe the child looks so unhappy, so neglected, even they come, they're not playful. A child should be playful, they should be happy, and they're not sick, so the child should be playful. They shouldn't feel neglected. They shouldn't feel like, they're coiling in a corner. I remember like that nanny who used to lie a lot. I remember every time when maybe she left because she was a day bug. So sometimes I'll tell my daughter, um, auntie, because I used to call her auntie. So I'd say auntie, and then she would just coil to me, like the way she would react. I noticed that there was something off, because it's like she didn't want her or something. She didn't want the nanny or something. So when you notice that, like that's a red flag, because they can't really speak and tell you, this is what's happening, and you don't have a nanny come, So the other point is also they have no boundaries. So even I'm going back to this nanny again because she was the most recent. So this same nanny, she would, from day one, she would just speak anyhow. She would just lie on the sofa. She would just, like, there was no respect, no ground. She just come like she wants to hold my phone and take over my phone. Imagine, like I had to take it from her. She would just come into the bedroom, not even knock. She would just talk anyhow, like too much, and it was too much. Like she didn't have any boundaries. And sometimes as a person, I know it's good. Like me, I'm a people pleaser, but at the same time, even you as a person should be able to know that this is my boss. Like should have that distinction. This is my boss. I need to respect. I need to have a boundary. Like there needs to be a clear boundary that this is your boss. You need to act in a certain way, even when she's around. Like you're not like lying down. Like the child is there. You're not fed the child yet, and then you're just lazing on the sofa, you're talking on the phone, laughing, and it's not a good look. So even you as a nanny, nah, so they have no boundaries. So I think that's one thing. And imagine this is the beginning, on the onset. So imagine if you stay with this person for 2 months or 1 year. Can you imagine how the disrespect will be by then? Like it will be crazy. Like you wouldn't even be comfortable in your own home. So yeah. Then the other point is also they don't return change or misuse money whenever you send them. So you find this person will misuse the money that you given them. I had one that I used to send to the market. She would buy like expensive things, like if it's a mango, she'd buy like one mango for 80 bob, an avocado for like 70 bob. Imagine. And then cheaper ones you can get even for 10 bob, you can get even for 20 bob, like I don't know why she would do that. Like it's like she was feeling like I have a lot of money, and I don't like it. I feel like a good nanny should be responsible with money, and she should be even respectful to your money, like to just know that money is not easy to come by, so I should use it the right way. If I can see a good deal, like they're selling mangoes, at this amount, we don't get that. It didn't make sense to me. She was just misusing money. Some don't return change, or there's one I had, I think she was the second. No, she was my very first nanny at the bag, my very, very first nanny. So she went at one point and then she was like, I don't know what happened. I don't know. She just fell down on the road. I don't know what happened. Imagine. And she didn't, she was just laughing. Like, why are you laughing? It's not funny. So that's a red flag. That shows that they don't respect you, they don't respect your money, they don't respect that, they need to return your change, like, sorry. Then they are wasteful. I think this is another point that goes hand in hand with that. So they are wasteful. You find that they just waste things, they waste food, they waste everything, like if it's like what, like soap, they just waste it. It's like they don't care, whatever. They're not feeling the pinch, and I feel like nannies should be able to, because they are also mothers, most of them. They are women, so they should be able to just understand, even in this economy, things are hard. Like, why would you be wasteful? Why would you eat up a lot of food? Like, I don't know why people are wasteful. So that's a red flag to me if someone is wasteful. Then the other point is also they disrespect you from the onset. So you find, as I said before, with this present nanny, like she was so really disrespectful, and she was like, like she would take on the space. Sometimes maybe I'm doing something on my kids, like what is it called? It's like a cabinet. I've forgotten the name. There's a name. Just drawer for my baby. Yeah. So maybe I'm getting something, and then she comes. Maybe I show her like, you're not supposed to do this. You're supposed to organize this like this. And then she's like, she comes and takes over, and like I'm like, what? So it was just disrespectful. The way she just used to handle me, like it was just disrespectful. Not like a boss. It's like, I don't know. It was just weird. So that's a red flag. And if someone is disrespecting you at the onset, can you imagine like staying with this person for 1 year? 6 months, even 1 year is a lot. I think 3 months, ooh, you'd be losing it. Then the other point is also they have a shady past with their past employers. So I know it's hard for someone, a nanny, to just tell you, hey, okay, or let me speak in English. That place I stole money. Oh my God, I ran away with a lot of money. Until I came here. And I wasn't caught. They can't tell you that, of course. So try and just get to talk to them. Sometimes they just end up just speaking by mistake. You just tell them, oh, okay, you're working there. How come you left? Like, you just be, be wise. I'm forgetting the word. Yeah, be wise in your asking them about this thing. So you'll find that they'll be able to tell you maybe, oh, there's a place I went and then I just left. Like, and then someone can tell you, oh, I lied to that lady, the boss, that, oh, I'm coming back, but I'm not coming back. Something like that. Like somehow they'll tell you. So you'll find the stories she's giving you are shady. They're not like good. When you ask them, oh, where did you leave this place? Because they'll always tell you, oh, there's a place I was working there, but the boss was in it. So you will find a lot of information that is shady. So when you see a lot of that red flag, then that should be worrying. Then your child seems withdrawn. I think that's another point, together with the unhappy and neglected. So your child seems withdrawn. Ever since this nanny came around, your child is not the same. Your child is not playful. Your child is not, when you come, they just want to hold on to you and cling on to you because they don't feel comfortable with this nanny. So that's a clear sign that she's not really good. Maybe it's a red flag and she'll check it out and be cautious about this nanny. Then the other point is also the nanny is irritable. So when you find this nanny is very irritable, and they get, people are people, and sometimes there's so many things, hormones and all that, but this nanny is always irritable. When you tell them to do something, yeah, why are you telling me? Huh? Do I have to go? Like, they snap at you. I had this one who, she started out nicely. She was very young. She started out nicely, like she would cook. I think I mentioned it with my nanny stories. And so one day she just became so irritable, like, she just told me, is that my child? That's not my child. Yeah. I don't even care. Like the way she just told me, like it was just enough for me to just send her packing. Yeah. So when they seem irritable, and it's with you. Can you imagine now around your baby when you leave? So imagine like the whatever it is that doing. So maybe the child is just going through abuse under your nose and you don't even know. So it's good to um be able to spot this early enough. And the other point is also the nanny is not teachable. So I love when nannies are teachable. When you tell them something, they take it positively. Maybe tell them, you shouldn't do this, you should do this like this, okay? I like it like this, because everyone has their own ways of doing things. So I love when the nanny is teachable, but the nannies who are very hard-headed and they just want to do things their way. And even if you tell them a number of times, like, I don't like it like this, you should do it like this, they don't. They just keep on doing things the way they want to do. So that's another red flag. Yeah. And then another bonus point where they have remembered, like when nannies just do things, like they tell themselves to do things. I think it's part of them misusing money. So this same recent nanny, there's a time I sent her to the market and then she took a ride, an expensive ride. So she could have just called me and asked me, like, can I take a ride to come back because the luggage is heavy? She would have just called me. So she didn't. She paid the cost was like twice the amount that she could have paid. So I felt bad, like, why didn't you tell me? Like, why didn't you call me? Why did you even spend a lot of money? It's supposed to be cheaper than that. So I didn't like that. So that's another bonus point. So yeah, when the nanny is not teachable, then the other point is also instinct never lies. So when your instinct, you just feel there's something off about this nanny, you've tried, you're around this nanny and you feel like there's something off, you're not comfortable, your spirit is just telling you no, 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 then you should listen to that, because you don't want to be in a situation, maybe, but you don't know what will happen. So when your instincts, it's screaming to you that this person is not good, this person is not genuine, then yeah, send them back. And that's all I can say. Yeah. So those are the points that I have for you today. If you have any more points, kindly write them on the comment section. As usual, I've enjoyed spending time with you. Until next time, bye.